So who is our first singer?
Yeah, okay. Our first singer will be Kirsty. Let me bring
Fantastic. Hi, Kirsty. How are
Hey, how are
you?
you?
Your
Hi,
Carla.
background.
background. Yeah. Um. Okay. How are you? How are you? I'm feeling great. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm so
Don't
glad
please
to be
don't be nervous.
here.
I think
I
when I'm
think when I'm
speaking, there's
speaking,
an
there's an
echo. Does
echo. Does
everyone else
everyone
hear
hear
that?
that? Um. I don't hear anything echoing from you. It's all good, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody else
Nobody
hears
else
the
hears
echo?
Echo. It's echoing.
Okay,
Okay.
let's try
Let's
it again. Can you hear me?
hear me. Yeah, loud and clear.
Everybody, does
Everybody,
anybody
does
still
still
hear an
hear an
echo?
echo?
Still echoing.
Kirsten,
Here's
let's just
let's
try an
just try an
experiment
experiment
here.
here. Okay.
Can
Can
I
I
talk to
talk to
JPAC
JP
for a moment just to
moment
see
just
if
to see if
it's
it's
my
my
computer or
computer
your
or your
computer?
computer? Oh, of course,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
JPAC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you hear an echo when I'm speaking with JPAC?
Yeah. No.
No.
I think it's from
Um,
Kirsty's device.
Okay,
okay, no,
okay.
it's
No,
good.
do
Do we have
we have
any
any
way to
way to
stop the
stop the
echo
echo?
on Kirsty's device?
Um, how about now? Is it
Uh,
better?
yeah, now I think there's no echo. Guys in the chat, do you hear an echo or no? Not anymore. Excellent. Great. Okay. Thanks for your patience, Kirsty. So, tell us a little bit how long you've been singing and why you like to sing. What does singing mean in your life?
Okay. Hello, Carla and everyone. Basically, I've been singing, I think, since I was 4 years old. But then it's because I grew up in a Christian community. I grew up as a choir singer, and I am now currently doing my service at church as a song leader for masses. Yeah. So basically, I'm just a soprano who does the mass on church mostly.
Fantastic. Well, that's a big job. Do you read music or do you learn music by ear?
I learned piano until I was like in the grade 12.
Great.
But yeah, I focused more on my career, my other career beside music. So
And
I
what is your other career?
my other career is just a regular salary woman. Yeah, I'm just working at the office, and then I do my service at churches on weekend.
That's so fantastic. It sounds like you found a really good way to balance both your musicality and your life career. I love that. Kirsty, so what would you like to sing today? I know you have three songs prepared. What would you like to start with?
Um, I'll just start with Omyo Bobino Karo because I think I'll will get a lot of input from you in terms of my soprano singing.
So everybody, this is a very challenging aria. It's from Gianni Schicchi, an opera by Puccini. And it goes up to about, I think it's a high A flat, right? The notes that go up flat. Yeah. So, do you know a little bit about the background of this opera, Kirsty? Can you set it up? Like, what is this aria about?
So it's a libretto. Basically, the one who's singing it is a girl who really loves a guy from the but his family background is the enemy of her family background. So she's begging for her father to let her marry this guy, or else she will commit suicide. I think it's quite depressing, but
Exactly right. That's exactly right. You got it. So whenever you're ready, we're really looking forward to hearing you. Thank you.
yeah, I'll start now. Okay.
Woo! Kirsty, that was amazing. You have a really fabulous voice. That's I've so much I so many questions and so many things I want to work on. Guys in the chat, let me hear from you. What did you like about the performance, and what repertoire suggestions? What do you guys want to hear Kirsty singing next? What would be some things? Like, I'm immediately thinking of Think of Me from Phantom. You would be great in that. Kirsty, you tell us, what did you like about the performance? What were two things that you thought went well?
Okay, so basically, this song is on my comfort range.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not too high but not too low because I kind of struggle with low notes, and it's like slow tone that I mean it's like and not too for the phrasing it's quite easy to phrase. It's not like a very quick but not a very long. So yeah, it's a
Yep.
balance. So yeah.
And it's okay, so but those are things like specifically I want to think about this performance. So you felt that you executed the legato well in this performance. That would be one thing. Yeah. What was another thing that you thought you did well? Like, for instance, I'll tell you one. I thought your Italian was beautifully executed.
Um, well, I learned it by ear, so I just got my music sheet and I learned from other singers. So yeah,
Great. Great.
I never learned Italian before. So
Well, it's really fantastic. What would you like to do better in this song?
um, probably less nervous, and I would be like to able to control my nerve on long notes, so I could pursue a better like sustain the long notes well.
Okay, interesting. Very, very good. So let's look at that. First, what I want to do is I know this song pretty well, but I want to make sure I have the music pulled up. So let's just go through line by line here with the song. In general, your Italian was very, very good. I'm going to give you just two or three feedback things that are important for Italian. Whenever you see in the score, and actually, I'm wondering, maybe I'll just try to share my screen for a quick moment, if that's okay. Just, I don't want to do this for too long, but okay, so if you can see the line here, yeah? Can you see it okay, Kirsty?
Yeah.
Perfect. First of all, group, do you see how well she has her markings? This is a breath marking. She has her portamento here, and the squiggle means, I'm sorry, the fermata here, and the squiggle is a portamento. So A plus on your markings, Kirsty, which was partly why I wanted to show everybody your score. My recommendation for you would be to take like a red pencil or maybe a pink highlighter, and every time that you see double consonants, O mio bambino, this needs to be more brought out in the text. So it's a big difference here because if you have two B's, like here, it means father. Babbo, babino is the diminutive of babbo. If it has one B, it means it bambino means baby. So it can be confusing and have a totally different meaning. So definitely bring out this double B. Also, well, I'll get to that. You have the two L's here. So that's another instance. Again, two L's. Rosa, you've done a beautiful job here of highlighting that. I also want to say I love that you've put in your translation. A plus, Guys, I'm really demonstrating with Kirsty just how much work goes into a score, and particularly when you're singing in a different language. You've done a great job of putting your translations in. Again, here you have Nello. So just really make sure that all of those come out. Yep, double S here. Now, second rule in Italian is when you have an R next to a consonant, means you want to roll the R. Esse la massin darno, darno. So it doesn't have to be a long roll, but you want to roll it there. Andrei, andrei. Yeah, that's another one there. Vecchio, buttar. So all of these doubles. So just go through your score as you already have so beautifully. Mi struggo. And part of the reason for this is in Italian, we use the double for emotion. So this word, mi struggo, means to struggle. I struggle and I am tormented, right? Mi struggo e mi tormento. So the way we're using that expressively is struggo. Like there's a real pause, which is embodies the struggle. And mi tormento, tormento with the rolled R. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Now a couple of things. Here I noticed in the performance, vorrei morir. You really carried this out, and you don't need to. This is a quarter note. So I really like you can get off of the finals much faster. The same with pietà. Pie is the fermata, but pietà off. So when you mention like the low notes and sustaining the low notes, I think actually you're carrying them longer than you need to, which will make things easier for you. This one goes off. That was the one I noticed the most. Yeah. So A plus job for how you've marked your scores. And I just want to really point this out because in a lot of master classes, the teacher will ask the student to see their scores, like almost like a homework assignment. I don't ask that, but when I saw your score, Kirsty, I really was immediately like, wow, she's a serious singer. She has the translation, she's marked her breaths, she's marked the portamentos. And secondly, and you probably know this from your work at church, but if you're working with a pianist and you give the pianist your score and you have all the markings in, like I want a fermata here, I'm going to portamento there, it gives your pianist a map. So I really point this out, like A plus. I haven't seen anybody score as detailed as yours. It's excellent. I would take it a step further with the doubles, the rolled R's, and just make sure that you cut off those notes because it will make things a lot easier for you. So does all of that make sense?
Yeah, thank you, Carla.
Okay, excellent. Now let's talk about the singing. My one big piece of advice for you would be to lift your soft palate more toward open vowels because, for instance, I'm just going to go to the Italian here. Mio babino caro. Every time you have an E, let me go to the big phrase. Esse la massindarno, right? I think you're finding that maybe easier because it's a small vowel. Is that correct? And I want to encourage you to find the same ease in the open vowels. Ah, eh. So just speak for me. Let's go to the first line. O mio babino caro. O mio babino caro. Can you just speak it kind of in time for me?
O mio babino caro.
Excellent. Now, one more small thing. When you have an R that's between two vowels, you don't flip it. So, caro is just like almost like a D sound. Italian is really hard. I'm sorry for all the rules, but can I hear you sing? Let's start the song again from the beginning, and I'm going to work a little bit toward opening your vowels. So just go ahead with the backing track, and we'll sort of start and stop. Guys, there's a big lesson to be learned today from Kirsty's music. Okay. Let's time out right there. First of all, Kirsty, I already feel like it's better from the first time. I don't know, maybe you're less nervous, but I'm hearing more vibrato in the sound. So maybe it was a matter just of like getting it out of the way once. Can you start it from the beginning? And we don't need the backing track really. I just want to hear you do it on ooh. And I want you to take your finger and go like this. And what I'm looking for is evenness of vibrato. Ooh, can you start it right there? Excellent. It's really, really good. Your audio is a little bit in and out, but I can hear you enough to tell like that's a very, very even sound. Does it feel comfortable for you?
Yeah, so much better.
It's just very, very comfortable, natural sound. Now I'm going to push you a little bit. What you have such beautiful A flat at the top. The top note is just beautiful. Whenever you get there, it's like perfect. When we have the last one, I'd love to hear you. I'd love to find a moment where you open it up a little bit, where you do a little bit of a crescendo on it and really open it up. And in part, that's about letting the vibrato just come in naturally. So can you start your backing track again and jump back into the song just from where we left off, or do you have to go to the beginning?
We can go from where I left.
Perfect. When you get to the high notes, Kirsty, have you been here when we've talked about that egg in the mouth?
Yeah.
So, what I'm looking for with you is the higher you go, I want your palate to be very lifted. What I mean by that is when you take your tongue, tip of the tongue, and move it back on the top of your mouth, you'll find first a hard place, right? Everybody can do this at home. It's kind of hard. That clicking sound is there. And if you keep going back, you'll find a mushy kind of soft spot.
Yeah.
That mushy soft spot when you yawn can lift. If you just yawn for me, it'll make you talk kind of like this. Ah, yeah. And what that does is it gives you a big space for the sound to resonate in. I really want you to imagine that you have an egg in your mouth back there. Oh mio bambino caro. And when you go up, really imagine that space, yeah? Can you try it? So go back to your backing track, put it on, and just really think about lifting the soft palate. Off. Off. Yep. You'll have to carry that one. Good. Lots of palette. Off. Yep. Yes. Yes. Yes, Kirsty, it's already so much better of a sound. So you tell me, what was different? I don't know. Maybe you were nervous the first time. It was very good the first time, but it was much better the second time. Why the difference?
Um, yeah, I think left when I lift my soft palette, it kind of making me also relax, and I think my body will I get more body support even if I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
I wish you weren't nervous. It's like it's such a joy. You're really a masterful singer. We have a few minutes left. Would you be willing to sing part of your world? Can you sing a little bit of that?
Okay, yeah. Well,
Personally, hearing you in classical, I would love for you to continue in classical. You have a really incredible ability with the high notes, and those notes are rarely accessed in the same way in musical theater. If you email me, I'd love to give you some more recommendations. Have you done things like Caro mio ben or O del mio dolce ardor, any of the things from the standard book of Italian songs? Have you done any of that?
not yet. Just probably just Omni Babino Caro and more like musical such as like Princess Barbie.
Okay, so
Different
I'm gonna
different.
put my email here. You guys all can email me, but feel free, Kirsty, to email me, and I will guide you through some sheet music of classical to look at because I think you would be really, really good at it.
Thank you, Carla. I will
No,
try to
thank
do
you, thank you. Let's hear a little bit of the Little Mermaid
that.
whenever you're ready.
Look at the stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at the shelf, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You wanna think I'm a pops? I've got tiny. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. They wanna see I'm dancing, walking around on those, what you call them? Oh, feet. Flipping your fence, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along on those, what you call streets. Up where to walk, up where to run, up where to stare you there in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I be if I could live above this water? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Rich on the land, they understand, but they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's the fire and what is it? What's the word? Born. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to wish I could be part of that world.
So good. Kirsty, you really surprised me here because you transitioned from a very classical song in a very classical style to really beautifully executing something in musical theater in a much lower range. Guys in the chat, really quickly, what other musical theater suggestions would you give, Kirsty? I think there's so much here for you to explore, Kirsty. Where are you located? What's your base? What city?
JPAC?
You're in Jakarta.
Yeah, currently
Great.
I'm residing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really strong voice. I hope you'll email me for some more repertoire selections. One of the things I'm taken with also is like your technique is pretty solid, but you're very, very expressive. So for you now, I think the next step is expanding on the technique. Expanding your comfortability on the high notes and the low notes, expanding your comfortability, let's say on crescendo, decrescendo, things like that. And if you email me, I'll give you some exercises as well for that. But a really stellar job in both styles. You've kicked us off really in a great way this morning. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Kirsty. Excellent job. And excellent sheet music. Thank you for leading with that example of your very, very well written out sheet music. You've given us all a good example of that.
Mm. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Thank you so, so much. And let's see, we now have Ajeng. Ajeng, are you with us?
Hello.
Hello.
Uh,
I think we have the echo is back. I'm having a ghost. Do you guys hear the echo or is it just me?
wow. Why should I test this?
Maybe you have a speak. Let's
Yes.
see. I'll keep talking. Oh, look. No, it's back. Oh, the evil echo. What's this echo following me around today? Um,
Test
any
this.
recommendations, guys, of how we can get rid of the echo?
Or wait a second.
I'll keep talking to see if
Maybe.
it's still
Is it
there.
now better?
No, I don't think I don't hear it anymore. Do you guys hear it? Do you guys hear it at all? I don't hear it. It's all good. I think we're good. We're good to go. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, oops. There it is.
Hello.
Hello. Yep.
Still
Yeah, we
echoing?
definitely have the echo. I want to make this as comfortable as it can be. I don't hear it now. Ajeng, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your singing and how long you've been singing? What do you like to sing?
Okay. Well, I've been singing in choir since college. And but then in 2019, I have a high vacuum from singing and start singing again in this year in 2021 as I started again. So I'm in college in choir, so like uh, I'm mostly singing in choir that, and
Okay.
I will
What have
sing
you? Go
again,
ahead.
and I will sing Being Alive from a musical company.
Great. Fantastic. Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mark me with praise. Let me be used. Vary my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody brought me with love. Somebody forced me to care. Somebody let me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive. Being alive. Being alive.
Wow. Wow. Ajahn, that is a big voice. Such a big sound, such an impressive, powerful sound. I got to tell you, I wasn't expecting it. Like you really, you've got an amazing instrument. So, yeah, let me just process that, guys in the chat. Wow, right? Can we give Ajahn some suggestions of other repertoire? And Ajahn, I want to hear from you. What did you like about that performance? What did you think went well?
Well, I choose this song because I want to focus how I can do belting. Because maybe I always singing in choir with head voice and not much with belting, so it challenging me to do belt. And but maybe I still a little, I have a correct at the when I did the belt at the end of the song. So yeah, I think that maybe I could do better.
Okay, but we're talking about what did you think went well? What did you think? What did you like about the performance? What was the things that you thought were the best in that?
uh, I can sustain my belt at the end. That is my, because I practice it and I always end up with mix. So I for this when I perform it, I just go with it and go with the belt and sustain it. And so I think I did well in that part.
Definitely did. Now, let me ask you though, when you were doing it, did it hurt? Did you feel like you were straining? It sounded very natural out here, but it's important for me to ask you, did you feel any kind of pain?
Currently, no, I don't feel any pain.
Good, 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 good. I have to say, the song that immediately comes to my mind for you is Defying Gravity. Have you ever sung?
But it's very high for me, actually.
No, I think you can do it. I definitely think you can do it. Okay, so there's so much I want to cover with you. One thing that I really liked in your belt was that you actually had a vibrato when you were sustaining the belt. To me, that is the sign of a healthy belt. You know, sometimes, and I'll bring this into the group class. If you hear like rock and rollers or pop singers, especially, they'll go way up in a belt, but it's a very straight sound. like
Mhm.
like a very like straight kind of sound, whereas yours is and there's like more of a vibrato in it. I'm not demonstrating it so well, but the vibrato is always a good sign that it's being produced healthy, and that's a lesson for everybody. I also really, really liked your emotional integrity in this song, because this song is a deep song, like about you know, being alive. Like it's so good. So I'm curious. I'd like to work on this song, but did you bring anything else? Do you have any other songs prepared?
I I think I want to When You're Good to Mama from Chicago musical.
Okay, okay. I want to hear this also. The context. Can we hear that?
Okay, with the music. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I like Benita. I like your suggestion. Don't rain on my parade. That's a great
Oh,
suggestion.
that's my favorite song also.
You have that one also?
Well, it's not on my list, but maybe if you want to, if you want me to try, maybe I can try it.
Let's hear the Chicago one first, and then
Oh,
let's take one thing at a time. We all want to hear you sing everything now.
okay. Ask any of the chickies in my band. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tats for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. When they pass the basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up my ladder kit, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's so stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. Oh yeah!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ajahn, yeah, I mean, you just took it up like a whole notch. Like the sass, the attitude, the acting in this. For me, I think this is a better starter for you. I think you're also a little bit more warmed up, which totally understand, but you seem to like really become the character in this. How did this feel for you? Like, how do you compare it to the first one, which is much more earnest and somber and like visceral? This is sexy. This is sassy. Like, what? Tell me, how did you feel about the two?
For the song, this like I just like maybe it's like Mama Morton is just like me that full of confidence and
Yeah,
yeah, and she slay it, and so like I for the song like I can bring out my character to this song, but
yes,
in the first song
yes.
maybe because I just think how song this is, how to to sing, and well, a little bit complicated in the first song. So like I like the second song better.
It's so interesting to me. So, like, I want to approach you as I would for someone preparing an audition, because you're definitely ready to audition, like, no question. If I were a judge, I would say that the second song is your start, should be your starter. Because you, first of all, it just, you seemed a lot more confident in it. You were confident in the first song too, but the first song is more, just more somber. This one has so much sass and character, and those qualities are usually really hard for people to come out like and be that sassy and confident, and you just like owned it. Also, a small thing, this felt like it was slightly lower. It felt like the register of the singing felt extremely comfortable. There are also these little turns of phrases and words and plays on words. So obviously now, I mean, I want to give you a break, but like we have to hear "Don't Rain on My Parade." We have to hear it. Like I can't not hear that. Um, do you want to take a little break? Like, are we asking you to sing too much?
No, it's okay. But
Guys
I
in the chat, what did you think about number two versus number one? Which one would you recommend she start with? Both of them are really good, but which one do you think is the better starter, Chicago or Sondheim? Yeah, it seems like they agreed. Number two.
thank
Ajay,
you.
have you done auditions? Or have you done an audition before?
Uh, Not well, in Indonesia, like for musical in Indonesia, I just tried once, uh, and and just
You should
once,
you should
yes.
be auditioning. Like to me, there's no question. The one thing I would recommend, and we'll talk about this, but your voice is really solid. We can do some exercises for the belting, but I actually don't think that's a problem for you. I think you could work a little bit more on your diction, making the diction clearer and crisper. You did it very well on the second piece because there's so many plays on words and slight humor. But I definitely think you are ready to audition. You need to go and audition much more. It's very ready to do that. So yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, we want to hear this. We all, I think, love Funny Girl in this class.
Wait a minute, I try for the song because I just look up the sound, the backtrack.
Number one Funny Girl fan. All right. All right. Has anybody seen clips of the new one? The Beanie Feinstein, is it? Who's doing it on Broadway right now? I'll be curious in the chat what you guys think about her versus Barbara Streisand. Oh yeah. Okay, whenever you're ready, Ajeng. Take it away.
And wait a minute, I just want. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and paddle. Life's candy of the sons of ball of butter. Don't bring around the clock to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to try, I've simply got to. If someone's take a spill, it's me, but not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade. I'll march my band out. I'll beat my drum. And if I faint out, your sense of that, sir. I guess a little fake it hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether on the rose of ill perfection, a freckle on the nose of some perfection, the splendor of the shiny apple of inside. I gotta fly once, I gotta cry once, only can die once, right, sir? Ooh, life is juicy, juicy and juicy. I gotta try my bite, sir. Get ready for me, love, cause I'm a drummer. I simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Don't bring around the clock to rain on my parade. I'm gonna live and live now. Get what I want, I know how. One roll for the whole shebang. One throw that bell will go clang. I on the target and when one shot, one gunshot, and bam! Hey, Mr. Einstein, here I am. I'll march my bands out. I'll beat my drum. And if I'm found out, your turn hat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, cause I'm a cover. I simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer, nobody and nobody is gonna rain on my
Woo! Oh my gosh, amazing.
up with the lyrics, sorry.
No, 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 no. Ajahn, that was absolutely incredible. Your voice, I mean, I think it's so interesting for me. Like, I am just drawn at how big your voice is. I can tell it's a lot of sound. And that's hard to tell on Zoom, but I can feel like the, windows are shaking. Like it's such a big sound. Okay, so you tell me what was something that you liked, and just maybe talk to me about in the three songs, which one do you feel the most confident in and why?
The second one.
Okay.
When you're good to mama, maybe it's in the range that I can sing it, and with belting in my don't run on my parrot, maybe I didn't practice so much and I forgot the lyrics, so I thinking how to sing it correctly, and maybe there's something breath. I think I couldn't sustain long enough for the end of the song and don't run of my parrot, and I use mixed voice because
Yep.
I expect wow, I couldn't reach it with my belting, so like I switch it with mix, and but maybe but the what is it called, passage of the transition between belt
Yeah.
and mix, I think I didn't do it smoothly for the third
No, no,
song.
no. I mean, I think first of all, it's always when I hear a singer that flips, it's smart because it's safer to flip into a mix than it is to try to bring the weight up if you're not sure and it might crack. So
Yeah,
you made the smart choice, right? The difference is that you don't have as much power in the
yeah,
mix as you do, right? So first of all, yeah, I agree with that assessment. Your second song seems to me the Chicago piece, like you could roll out of bed and do it. Like it's so natural, it's so comfortable. And guys, that level of comfort is what you need in an audition. It's like, okay, it's 8 a.m. and I gotta go audition. I don't have time to warm up. Oh my gosh, I can just go do this. Like it seems completely 100% natural and in your zone of comfort. Yeah. So no question, that would be, for my recommendation, your starting piece, because you only get one first impression, and in that you seem just like 100% yourself. Now, what I want to work on with you, Ajeng, in the short time, it's never enough time, is I think that you can achieve the same power in your mix and your head voice. And the secret for you is going to be some of the twang. Were you here when we've discussed the idea of twang or nasal resonance?
Oh. Biết là sao?
Bringing it this way. So you have a very good, healthy chest voice. And let me just spend this 5 minutes on like exercises for you. Um, excuse me. So I mean, you could work on strengthening the chest voice. I don't think you need to strengthen it so much because it's already really good and really big. But the way to do that would be starting low and just doing a 3 or 5 tone exercise like yeah, 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 yeah. That's 3 tones. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So that you're like building tones, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Trying to go higher. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I would practice it on yeah, yeah, yeah. And I would try to start to think about your canines out, canine teeth like dogs, canines out, and your nostrils flared. So just try that for me and see. We're gonna start yeah. We'll start on this pitch and see if you can yeah 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 yeah. See how high up you can go with that exercise. Yeah, starting on that pitch.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Very, very, very good. It seems like a piece of cake for you. You're a higher belter than I am. Now, with that sound, I want you to start by trying to think of that, bringing that sound more forward. So we're going to do this. Instead of ya, we've been doing ya. I want you to do nya, nya,
Yeah.
nya, 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 nya. It doesn't have to be a pretty sound. I want it to be a rather nasally sound. Nya, 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 nya. And the way to test it is plug your nose. But first, just do nya, nya, nya on the scale. Nya, 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 nya. I want a much more nasal sound from you.
Nya, 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 nya.
Very, very good. Let's go up a step. Nya, 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 nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
Really good. Can you try going more nasal? Nya, nya,
Nya,
nya.
nya, 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 nya.
What that does, Ajeng, is it gives you, it cleans up pitch. You're not a pitchy singer, but it does make the pitch center more focused. And B, it puts it into a natural resonation place. If I was to do it in the back way, nya, 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 it's harder. Whereas the forward way, nya, 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 nya. Do you hear the difference between those two?
Yeah.
Can you do the backward way for me once? Just try it. The back, nya, nya, nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
Now do the forward way for me.
Nya, 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 nya.
It's the pitch difference is completely different. Do you guys in the chat hear that? and it's just a much more focused sound. So this is one approach. Now, once you go higher, nya, 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 you'll find there's a breaking place. So what I want you to do is to start top. Nya, 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 nya. Start at the higher place in a mixed voice and try to bring the mix down.
Nya, nya, nya.
Try to bring the mix down as much as you can.
Nya, 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 nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
This will take some practice, but eventually this is going to even you out. By putting the sound forward, the difference is going to be less of the difference than a back belt and a head voice. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a big difference because I'm going from the back to the head voice. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. There's still a difference, but it's less of a difference. And the more that you practice and smooth it through, the easier it's going to be. That's what Barbara Streisand does. That's what a lot of these great singers do. They just learn to strengthen the head voice in that twang. So you can also try things like nya 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 nya. Just try that for me. All head voice.
Nya, 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 nya.
Nya 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 nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
Now watch. I'm trying not to use my jaw. Nya 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 nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
Nya 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 nya.
Nya, 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 nya.
There you go. This is your key for you to practice this. And then eventually, nya, nya, what am I doing? Da, 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 nya, nya. Sorry. Da, 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 nya. I want to do three. Nya, nya.
Nya. Oh, what?
Yeah, it's hard. It's like a weird sensation because you've been belting so much. Nya, 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 nya.
Nya. Nya.
Do you it's you're starting to find it really, really quickly, Ajeng. For me, it takes me time. But these are the kinds of exercises that will connect your head voice to your chest voice more smoothly. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Oh, you have such a good voice. I want to hear you again. I'm sorry we're over time. But I really want to leave you with some tools. Do these exercises make sense to you? And you can practice these.
Okay.
Good. Everybody, round of applause for Ajeng. It was amazing to hear you.
Thank
So
you,
amazing to
Carla.
hear both of you this morning. Let's take our 10-minute break. After the 10 minutes, we're going to come back with our last two singers. So let's meet back here at 8:13. Yeah?
Thank you, Carla.
Thanks, guys. Whenever you're ready, let's come on back. So inspired by our singers this morning and just by all of the support I see on the chat, even though these are one-on-one sessions, I've always felt that you can learn a lot from watching other singers. And having the support of your colleagues and friends there also is very meaningful when you're up. So without further ado, let's go to Kalisha Al-Shafa. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Hi, Kalisha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, great. I'm testing for my Echo Ghost. Echo Ghost. Echo Ghost seems to be gone. Yay. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been singing and what you've prepared for today.
Okay, so I've been singing for since middle school. I joined choir until up until high school, but right now in university, I'm currently not joining any choir, but I'm like still really into choir and musical theater stuff, but I've actually been like introduced to music by my grandfather since I was like a little girl. So I've always been like so in love with music and art and all of that.
And what
And
kind of music were you introduced to at first?
I was introduced to jazz. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. So what kind of music do you like to sing?
I like to sing musical theater.
Great. And what would you like to sing today?
Today I'm gonna be singing God Help the Outcast from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Excellent. Okay, so set it up a little bit. Tell us what's going on in that song, and then take it away.
Okay. So actually, personally, I've never watched the Hunchback movie or the musical, but I have listened to the song like once and completely fell in love, and I have my own interpretation of the song. Should I like share?
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Um, so from what I hear, like from how I interpret the song, is that um, we're asking God for help because other people are in need of help, and I feel like that relates so much to our world. And yeah, just to look up to someone and like have hope.
Have hope. That's a good message. Take it away, Kalisha.
I'm gonna test the backing track first, if that's okay.
Yeah. Guys in the chat, do you guys know this song?
Is that okay?
Ooh. Sounds good. Sounds good. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. I don't know if you would listen to a gypsy's prayer. Yes, I know I'm just an outcast. I shouldn't speak to you. Still, I see your face and wonder, were you once an outcast too? God help the outcast, hungry from birth. Show them the mercy they don't find on earth. God help my people, they look to you still. God help the outcast, nobody will. I ask for wealth, they ask for fame, they ask for glory to shine on their name. They ask for love they can possess. They ask for God and His angels to bless them. I ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. Please help my people, the poor and downtrodden. I thought we all were the children of God. God help the outcast, children of God. Children long gone.
Yay! Kalisha, it's so good. You have such a pretty voice. It's so beautiful. So beautiful, so expressive. And this song fits you like a glove. It's a beautiful fit for you. Guys in the chat, I'm curious, what else do you want to hear Kalisha sing? What other repertoire selections would you recommend? And Kalisha, you tell me, what is something you liked about that performance? What did you feel you did well?
I feel like the pronunciation is like okay, and I have I have a really strong like chest voice, but not a really strong head voice. Yeah.
Really interesting, because I would have said it the other way around. I think you have a very strong head voice. That's so interesting. Okay, no, no, no. Okay, but tell me more about the things that you liked in the song, in the performance. Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was really nervous.
And I mean, honestly, like you did so beautifully. It's also a very challenging song. What else do you sing? What other repertoire do you do?
I do songs from like Pocahontas, and I
Bet
sing
that would fit you well.
everything else from Next to Normal. Yeah.
Do you ever sing any pop songs or religious songs?
Not religious songs, but maybe pop songs
Yeah,
sometimes.
I could see you doing some classical too. Have you ever thought about doing classical?
No.
Yeah, I could definitely hear you. There's a piece, PA Yezu. Sorry, I'm putting this in the chat. I'm wondering if anybody will know this piece. Foray. Does anybody know this piece, the PA Yezu by Foray? I think this would fit you very, very beautifully. And just going back to jazz, do you ever sing any jazz?
I try to sing it, but it's not really good, and I just listen to it most of the time.
Okay, okay. So, let's go through the song. It's interesting that you say that you feel that your chest voice was your strength and your head voice not as strong. When you went up to that top note, it was so perfect. It was so pure. Did you feel confident in that moment?
Yeah, yeah.
So, can we start it from the beginning? And I'm also curious, do you have a second song ready today?
Yeah, everything else from Next to Normal.
Let's hear that. Let's hear that and then we'll work a little bit. It'll be
Okay.
good to hear you. Thank you so much. No, truly, like and you have an angelic sound. It's just so beautiful to hear you.
Thank you. Let me turn on the. I hope there's no ad. Okay, there's an ad. I'm sorry. Can you hear the song? Is it okay?
Yep, yep. I'm ready to go. It sounds good.
Okay. Mozart was crazy. Flat fucking crazy. That shit I hear. His music's not crazy. It's balanced, it's nimble, it's crystalline clear. There's harmony, logic, you listen to these. You don't hear his doubts or his debts or disease. You scan through the score and put fingers on keys and you play. And everything else goes away. Everything else goes away. And you play till it's perfect. You play till you ache. You play till the strings or your fingernails break. So rock that recital and get into Yale. So you won't feel so sick and you won't look so pale. go, cause you've got your full ride and you're early admit. So you're done with this school and with all of this shit, and you graduate early, you're gone as of May, and there's nothing your paranoid parents can say. And you know that it's just a sonata away, and you play, and you play, and everything else goes away. Everything else goes away. Everything else goes away.
Oh my gosh. I loved you in this song. Whoa. Okay. So I wasn't familiar with the song. I will admit that's my first time hearing it. Kalisha, I'm really curious. Which one do you feel more comfortable in of these two?
I feel more comfortable in God Help the Outcast.
And why? What is it that you feel more comfortable there?
I feel like it has a more like darker undertone in like the voice, so I feel more comfortable there because like I feel like I'm an alto and yeah, just like the deeper
Okay, so I'm gonna say something, and I definitely don't mean to misconstrue your own thinking of your voice, but I don't think you're an alto.
oh,
You have a beautiful, clear voice. Guys, let's go over this, because we haven't really talked about, I'm gonna use a word. I'm gonna write it in the chat so that it's very clear. Does anybody know what this word means? FACH. Have you ever heard this? Okay. This word is the word Fach, is how you pronounce it, for vocal categories. So there's something called the Faching system, which is a German system of putting voices into categories: soprano, mezzo soprano, tenor, baritone, and then a lot of subsets of that. So there's a somewhat underground famous book among singers called What the Fach. Obviously, play on words here. Forgive my language. But so I think you are faching yourself or categorizing yourself into this alto category, and I would fach you as a soprano, or at least as a slightly higher singer. There are two determinants for what your fach is. I can't believe I'm saying fach so many times, but so two determinants. One is your range. Now, remember, women generally, we have the same range. Generally speaking, most women have generally 2 octaves. G below middle, C up for 2 octaves. Generally speaking, our vocal cords are there. There are some women who have what's called like an upper extension or even a whistle tone. And some women who sing lower. But generally, then the question is like, where do you feel more comfortable singing? Do you feel more comfortable singing low? The singer before you, who is just absolutely wonderful for me, like definitely alto voice. She had a very natural low voice. Her speaking voice was also low, if you know. Some singers, like our first singer, definitely high. Her speaking voice was higher. She had those high A flats, right? So one determinant is where in your range do you feel comfortable? The second determinant is the color of your voice. What do I mean by color? Is it a bright voice? Is it a kind of clear voice? Or is it a dark voice? Now, to a certain degree, we can play with color. When I was working with the previous singer and I was saying, you know, yeah, yeah, ah, yeah, 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 yeah. That's a dark color. I can immediately make that bright. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 right? That's just changing around the palette. But when you find your kind of neutral tone, and for me, Kalisha, your neutral tone is a clear, rather bright tone. It's not a dark, lovely back tone. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I'm giving a very, very big explanation for something that's, but I want to make sure that it makes sense to you. Yeah? So one of the things I would look at is where do you feel in terms of your register comfortable? And when I hear you, indeed, you can go down and you can go up. So you might be someone who's difficult to fach. There's a word for that. Zwischenfach is a German word. Zwischenfach means between two fachs, or kind of both fachs. So I actually was categorized for many years as a Zwischenfach between soprano and mezzo. You might also be a Zwischenfach, but I would not put you directly in an alto category because you have this ability to sing the top notes and very, very beautifully, very crystal clear. So one thing I would do is for you is I would kind of play with where does your natural sound lie. I know we're a little bit over time, but we also had the break. Can you start the first song for me again? Just start it with the backing track, and I'm going to stop because I just want to hear you sing it a little bit.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there.
Okay, right there. I'm just going to stop you right in the middle. To me, when I hear you sing there, you're using your head voice. And your head voice is just so beautiful. Honestly, Kalisha, if there's one takeaway, you have a really beautiful sound. Now, to me, that's like one of the biggest compliments because you're born with it, clearly. I've always had a powerful sound, a big sound, a loud sound, and I've tried really hard to make my sound more beautiful. But I think in your case, power is not necessarily the thing you were born with. You were born with beauty, just this crystal clear, beautiful sound. You know who you remind me of in that regard is Sarah Bareilles. Sarah Bareilles, just beautiful voice, like beautiful. Do you know the song that she sings? Da da dum bum ba da dum, dee da bum bum ba da dum, ya da bum bum ba da dum. Oh God, does anybody know the song? So free da dum, yellow lights and da da dum. Da 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 bum ba da da. Nobody knows the song. Oh my gosh. Okay, I swear to God it exists. I'm gonna find it. It's like once upon a something or other. You need to sing the song. This would be your killer song. Um, Let me just find this. Sarah. Once upon another time. In fact, I'm just gonna play a snippet of it so you can hear what I mean by this.
Hi, I'm
Sorry,
Nicole
we have
Hockley
an
from Sandy
ad.
Hook Promise.
Oh boy.
I know this is hard to hear, but it's important.
I want you to hear the natural quality. She's doing. I hear you doing that, Kalisha. I hear you being able to do something like that. And see, it is low. Once upon, it's not a question like she does have that low range, but it's a clear sound. So maybe Sarah Bareilles is also a sufficient. Maybe you're a sufficient. Maybe you're in between the two, but play on that whole ability. Don't categorize yourself into one. When you started this song right now, I felt that same thing that I hear at the beginning of her song. Just beauty of voice and legato. So I would really encourage you to play with that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm going to put this song in the link. I want to hear you sing this song so bad.
Thank
So bad. Please look at this song. I feel like this you would own this. Okay, it's right there. Guys, I'm sorry to go through this so quickly. I wish I had an hour with each of you, but we have to go to the next singer. Kalisha, thank you so much. It's such a beautiful sound. A joy to hear you. Thank you.
you.
Yes, 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 yes. Now, let's see. We have one more singer today. I cannot wait. Another Kalisha, Kalisha Al Marwa. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, that's right.
Hi, Kalisha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so excited to hear you. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, how long
Um,
you've been singing, and why you like to sing.
well, I love to sing because my grandfather introduced me to jazz, and uh, I've been joining like musical theater communities, doing like open mic nights, and then uh, like auditioning twice for uh, like local theater shows, and that has been a very fun experience. And I also did choir for just at the end of my high school years, and that's it.
Fantastic, fantastic. So have you've said you've done an audition before. What did you bring to your past auditions? What were your
Um,
songs?
I brought this is this was when my musical knowledge wasn't really wide. I brought Circle of Life from The Lion King.
Yes, that's a good song. That's a hard song. What have you brought today to sing for us?
I'm bringing Burn from Hamilton.
Ooh, all right. All right, Kalisha, take it away whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me just test the instrumental
Yep.
first.
Yep. Guys in the chat, do we know this one? Burn from Hamilton?
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Let me get into my character first.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing, girl.
Okay, thanks.
We're all here to support you. This is the safe space.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. I saved every letter you wrote to me. From the moment I read them, I knew you were mine. You said you were mine. I thought you were mine. Do you know what Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive? She said, be careful with death and love. You'll do what it takes to survive. You and your words flooded my senses. Your sentences left me defenseless. You built me palaces out of paragraphs. You built cathedrals. You wrote to me. You're searching and scanning for answers in every line. For some kind of sign. And when you were mine, you were true. You published the letter she wrote you. You told the whole world how you brought this girl into our bed. And clearing your name, you ruined our lives. Do you know what Angelica said? You've done it. treacherous story and wonder. My eyes are reacting to your You're thrown all apart. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. The world has no right to my heart. The world has no place in our bed. You don't get to know what I said. I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you. You forfeit all rights to my heart. You forfeit the place in our bed. You'll sleep in your office instead. With only the memories of when you were in love. I hope that you
Oh my gosh. Kalisha, that was so good. That was
you.
so good. Woof. Okay, what am I even gonna do with you guys? You're all so good. Um, I have chills. I really do. I'm like freaking out. Okay, you tell me, what did you like about that performance? Guys in the chat, two questions. What fach is Kalisha? Let's just stick to soprano or mezzo, soprano or alto if you want. And what else should she be singing? What other repertoire selections would you give her? Kalisha, what do you think your fach is, and what did you think about that performance?
I would say I'm a mezzo because I'm comfortable in the like middle range, but sometimes I can also reach higher notes for other songs. And for something I like in the performance was probably how I was on pitch and I could reach every note, but I feel like um, my weakness is in my facial expressions.
Oh my gosh, really? I have
Yeah.
to tell you, I think one of your strengths was your emotional connection to the song.
Oh, really?
Rarely seen someone so, it just felt like the song's emotion took you over. And like you were not Kalisha, you were the character, you were in it, you were like abandoning everything else for the emotion. Do you guys in the chat, did you feel that? Like, I'm just curious, maybe it was just me, but I felt that emotion very genuinely. So interesting. Have you ever filmed yourself like on your phone and watched yourself, or we talked at the audition prep session about like either recording yourself or practicing in front of a mirror. Have you done either of those?
I've recorded myself, but when I watch it back, I just like cringe because it's so cringy to watch yourself.
It's for all of us, it is.
Yeah.
Like for all of us. I can't. I totally understand that. Okay, so let's break this down. I saw one comment in the chat about Fach. Guys, real quick, everyone, we have what, 33 people here. Soprano or mezzo? In the chat, what do you hear? A couple people saying mezzo. Okay. So, I should see a lot more, guys. We're gonna be talking a lot more about Fach. Both Kalishas. I actually think both of you guys should start a Kalisha times two band. It should just be like A2 or something. I don't know. But like you guys, no, I'm dead serious. You should start a duet group. Like, do you guys know Chloe and Haley? Do you know
Yeah.
them? Okay, you know how their harmonies are wickedly cool? Like, what I love about Chloe and Haley is how they harmonize. I actually saw them live open for Beyonce once, and I was like, ooh, who are these girls? Because their harmonies were so tight and their voices were so similar. And you guys have very similar. Interestingly, and it's usually very seldom to find a sfission. I think you're both sfission. I think you're both middle voice. Like it's that either soprano two, sometimes it's called a soprano two, like in a choir part, if you're singing and there's soprano one, soprano two, mezzo. I would put you guys on the soprano 2 part, where you're not the top high notes, but you're also not like sitting in your chest voice the whole time. You're kind of in the middle, but ultimately, if I had to make the decision soprano or mezzo, I would put you in the soprano part. And the reason partly is because like that color thing that we talked about, your voices are clear. And I think your power lies more in your head voice than it does in your belt. Yeah? So let me reframe what I said before. There's 3 criteria for Fach. Your range, where are you most comfortable singing? Higher head voice, lower, right? Number 2, the color of the voice. Is it brighter? Is it darker? Number 3, the power. And both of you seem for me to have a lot of power in your head voice, right? When we heard Ajeng's power right now lies in her belt, in that chest voice. So there's no question for me that she is a mezzo. Both of your power seems to lie a little bit in the middle or higher. So those 3 criteria, all of you guys watching, when you're thinking about Fach and what category and so forth. I will talk about this much more on Friday's group session, where it's going to be entirely about Fach, but I'm sort of previewing it here so you guys can go, oh, what the Fach? Sorry, it's such an insider joke, singer joke. Anyhow, I think that both of you, Kalishas, should do duets. Like, please, please, please bring me a duet before the end of June. There's so much you could do. You could try to work with a composer who can write for you. You could do classical duets. You could do Broadway duets. You could do, have you seen the Judy Garland, Barbara Streisand, Happy Days,
Oh, yeah.
Get Happy mix? Oh my gosh, like all of that. Go and do it. You guys will own that space. Kalisha times 2. Love it. But let's get back to Kalisha Armawa. I thought that you delivered the emotion so purely and so rawly, and that is one of your biggest strengths. I would say I have one technical suggestion for you, and take it or leave it, because your singing is great right now. But I think your singing could benefit from a slightly more twang forward sound. At times you're going back a little bit, and I'd love to bring the voice forward a little bit more. Why? Number 1, it's going to help with your diction. And something like Hamilton is like 90% about diction. You know, a lot of it's not these long melody lines like an opera or like Rodgers and Hammerstein. That yes, there's melody, yes, there's sung elements, but so much of it is words. And so your job as an interpreter is to get those words out, and always like think about it this way. If you're speaking, if I were speaking in the yawning high soft palate, I was just going to talk to you. It's much harder for me to articulate. It's much harder. But if I bring everything forward and I'm doing a lot with my canines, it's much easier for me to articulate the sound in this kind of a way than it is if my palate is up and high and back. Do you guys hear the difference there? Yeah. So, Kalisha, what I would recommend for you, I keep talking about the canines, but it's this idea of twang, right? I want to see if I can just find it on an exercise with you. You know how for Ajeng we were doing like nya 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 nya. Can you do that? First of all, do this for me, just on a hum. Yep, like you're chewing gum, and try to have your nostrils nice and flared out. Even more. It feels strange, right? That's the first place. I want you to feel it in a hum. Now, if I try to do that, I can't do that. The minute I plug my nose, it doesn't work. Try it. You'll find it.
Yeah.
It stops, right? So now let's try it with yum yum yum.
Yum,
Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Good. You have like great twang. That's some really natural twang. So you don't have to go quite that far, but I want you to start the song again and think about it being in that twangy place where you're really focusing on diction. just, I think of the smile, or you can think of the canines, but it's this idea like when I'm singing in this place, my cheeks are really high, my nostrils are generally flared out, my teeth are kind of showing, and I'm really focusing on that diction. So can you start the song for us and just focus on that diction and sort of that smiling place?
Okay. Saved every letter you wrote me. From the moment I read them, I knew you were mine. You said you were mine. I thought you were mine. Do you know what Angelica said? When the letter arrived?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop you really quick. Firstly, do you mind turning your backing track down a little bit? Because I want to hear your voice, and it's a little loud right now.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's okay. When you do that line that's low, you said what Angelica said. What's the next line? The low line. What are the words?
When we saw your first letter arrive.
Can you sing just that line for me a cappella? You said what Angelica said when we saw your first letter, or whatever.
Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive.
When we saw your first letter. Can you try it with a little more teeth? When we saw.
Do you know what Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive?
Guys, do you hear the difference with that? Like, it is night and day. It might seem like a small thing to you, but it's a night and day out here. We hear those words. And it's also just kind of keeps it in line and forward.
Yeah.
I think you got it. That's the key for your singing, is just keeping everything there. I have to ask, Kalisha, because you're such a good singer, did you bring a second song?
Yes.
What is the next one?
It's from Amelie. It's called Times Are Hard for Dreamers.
Can we hear it?
Sure.
Yay! Nobody's brought anything from Amelie. I'm excited to hear this.
I'm so scared.
Guys in the chat, while she's setting up, feel free to put in some suggestions for repertoire for Kalisha, or maybe for Kalisha too, for the duets that we're going to hear. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think.
I'm gonna test the music. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Let me stop over. You say times are hard for dreamers, but they won't be hard for me. I've saved up everything I need. Take that step beyond the line. Keep walking till I see the station and then see it. Inside the train, I'll be blessed. All of these times I've never Off the train in Paris, past the miles and second for the city, waiting up for me. Signs as an apartment taken on the second floor, and suddenly I hold again. I turn and walk the music and all it takes is one more step, and then I'm here. Just leave behind my door. It isn't what I had in store, what I had in store. Nothing matters now. The past can only fade, and I
everything I'll ever need is here. This is how my work gets made. Busy times are hard for dreamers, and who knows, maybe there are people who stuck or lost next. And I might be a dreamer, but it's not in me. The spotlight is bright enough for me. Look out my window, there's a view of other windows. My own museum full of paintings I love now, where everything is clear. It isn't where I am, it's only where I go from here. That matters now, and I am not afraid. 'Cause everything I'll ever need up here. This is how my work is.
Amazing, 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 amazing. I love this song for you. And you know what I really like, Kalisha, is that you both of these songs show very different sides of you. These are great songs to bring to an audition.
Okay.
Both are like, because the first is much more dramatic, the emotion, the pain in it, and this is like much more like upbeat, energetic. So guys, when we've been talking about auditions and what to bring, this is a great example of two contrasting styles. Really, really well done. I also just absolutely love when you're going up to those notes. Da da bum bum bum, whatever the notes were. Beautiful, crystal clear. That's soprano land, right? Like that's definitely soprano land. So you can do that and you do it beautifully. I was also thinking about waitress for you. Someone made the comment about popular from Wicked. You would do great on popular. You would do so great on popular. So we have a lot of suggestions in here for you. My main point of sort of advice for you is to try really to keep it forward as much as you can. The more forward, you already have a naturally really beautiful, bright sound. And I think especially when you're going down, when you go up in your range, you naturally bring it forward. But when you go down, all of us have a tendency to go back. That's why doing something like nya 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 nya. Can you do those scales, descending scales on a nya nya for me?
Wait, how is it? I'm kind of like
Nya 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 nya.
Nya 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 nya.
And keep it nice and bright all the way down, like nya, like really like a cat. Nya 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 nya.
Nya 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 nya.
Nya nya nya.
Nya nya nya.
There you go. There you go. I would really practice those scales from the top down so that you're getting used to bringing that brightness down. You tell me, what else would you want to work on? I mean, I think you're a very polished singer and you have two great audition pieces ready. I would recommend Popular. I think Popular would sound so great in your voice. And maybe start to look at a monologue so that you'll be, ready with that as well for auditions. When you're warming up, I'm curious, Kalisha, and this is a question for both Kalishas and for all of our singers. How high do you go comfortably?
I don't really know how high.
You may not know, and that's okay. So start, all of you guys, I want you to start practicing with a little keyboard app on your phone. So you can go, okay, I go up to G5 or whatever it is. You go, yeah, okay, when I'm doing my scales or my ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever it is. Okay, what's that top note? Bum, bum. Look at the piano, test that note. What is it? And keep trying and trying so that you can start to see how high is your natural voice. Yeah? I think that's a big one. What else? We have like 1 minute left. Is there anything else that you want to address in your singing?
I guess I've never been really as strong when I'm doing like lower range. That's why in the song just now, "The Times Are Hard for Dreamers," there were like low notes, right? There was like a descending note, and
Yep, yep, yep.
it wasn't
When
really
you did it on the Hamilton piece, do you remember when we were doing Hamilton and I went
fun.
down and I said, "Can you do it brighter?"
Uh-huh.
That's going to be the key for you going
Ah,
down. So
okay.
like as you're going down, that's why I'm having you do the nya 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 nya. I'd rather have you going top down than bottom up.
Yeah.
But do you know what the part is in the Emily that you can you sing it just a cappella?
Hold on. Oh, here it goes. Sign says an apartment's vacant on the second floor, and suddenly I hold a key.
And I heard you go, I hold on. I'm exaggerating, but you went like way back.
Yeah.
Ta-da-da-da-ba-da-ba-bum. Uh, I hold a key. Try to keep it forward as much as you can. Hold. The problem is the O from hold is bringing you back. I hold a key. Like just try to keep it as forward as you can.
Sign says an apartment's vacant on the second floor, and suddenly I hold a key.
Guys, the difference in that is night and day. It's night and day. Like truly, I cannot stress enough how much of a difference that one tweak makes in your singing. So every time you have those low notes, really think of bringing it forward. Yeah. Kalisha, you were awesome. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Kalisha. It's such a joy to hear all of the singers today. Really, guys, thank you so much for being so well prepared, for sharing your voices with us. It's a great session. I'm going to hand it back to the JPAC team.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the singers for tonight. Before we end, let's have a quick photo session for with everyone. Okay, everyone ready? All right, in 3, 2, wait, hold on. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oops, sorry. 3, 2. Okay, one more time. And 3, 2, and yeah, okay. That's good. Thank you so much for attending today's class, guys. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys. Really fantastic session. Have a great evening and a great
Thank
weekend.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Carla.
Carla and
Bye.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.